Hello everybody, I am going to interact with you today on the topic ratio analysis part 3. In my earlier videos I explained the meaning of ratio analysis, then importance of ratio analysis, limitation of ratio analysis and different types of ratios. Then I solved around 5 problems in my earlier presentations. By now you have understood almost all the ratios, how to compute all these ratios based on the financial information given in the problem. Now let us solve some more problems so that you will be very much familiar with the computation of different ratios. Okay, problem number 6. So here profit and loss account as well as balance sheet of Sunrise Limited for the year ending 31st March 2019 is given. Then followed by that you are asked to compute gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, operating profit ratio and current ratio, asset test ratio and proprietary ratio. What is gross profit ratio? Gross profit ratio is equal to gross profit divided by net sales into 100. So gross profits are 3,40,000 divided by net sales. Your sales and net sales are one and the same, 8,50,000 into 100. So you will get gross profit ratio. The net profit ratio, net profit divided by sales into 100. You will get net profit ratio. Operating profit ratio, ratio is equal to operating profit divided by net sales into 100. Okay, what is operating profit? See, yes, you have got all this information. So from the net sales, if you deduct operating expenses, you will get operating profit. In other words, say sales minus cost of goods sold minus operating expenses, you will get operating profit. Operating profit to net sales divided by 100. Operating profit divided by net sales into 100. Okay, then one more ratio, that is current ratio. Current ratio is equal to current assets is to current liabilities. What are current assets here? Stock in trade, sundry debtors and cash balance. So put together that will be current assets. Current liabilities are only one item, 1,30,000. Then asset test ratio. Asset test ratio here mean quick assets divided by quick liabilities. Quick assets here include sundry debtors and cash balance. In other words, current assets minus stock in trade and prepaid expenses. Here prepaid expenses are not there. So from current assets you have to exclude stock in trade. Then quick liabilities are as good as current liabilities, 1,30,000. Then asset test ratio. Asset test ratio is nothing but that's what I explained. Quick assets is to quick liabilities. Proprietary ratio. So proprietors funds to total tangible assets. So here tangible assets are, yes, entire balance sheet total. What you find on the asset side, that is 4,80,000. That is tangible assets. There is no fictitious asset here, no intangible asset. So entire 4,80,000 is equal to tangible assets. Equity shareholders funds, share capital, reserves and profit and loss account. If we add up, that will be shareholders funds. Let us calculate the ratio. Gross profit ratio is equal to gross profit divided by net sales into 100. So you will get here 40%. So this could be compared with that of gross profit ratios of earlier years, or with the other firms in the same line of business, or with the standard ratio. And here what it means is, if you sell the goods of ₹100, you are going to make a profit of gross profit of 40 rupees. Yes. Then what is net profit ratio? Net profit divided by net sales into 100. So here, if you substitute the values, you will get 17.65%. And that means, if you sell the goods of ₹100, you are going to make a net profit of 17.65. So these ratios, gross profit ratio and net profit ratio, these ratios are very important from the point of view of management as well as the owners or the shareholders, and similarly prospective investors. Operating profit ratio, actually I have made a mistake here. It is operating ratio. Operating ratio is equal to cost of goods sold divided by operating expenses divided by net sales into 100. So cost of goods sold means opening stock, add purchases, add incidental expenses or direct expenses minus closing stock, you will get 5,10,000. Yes, operating ratio, not operating profit ratio, operating ratio is equal to 5,10,000, that is cost of goods sold. Then you see here operating expenses, selling and distribution expenses and administrative expenses. So if you add up, you will get yes, so totally 7,05,000. Cost of goods sold plus operating expenses divided by net sales into 100, you will get operating ratio. Operating profit ratio is equal to net sales minus, or 100 minus 82.94. Then you will get operating profit ratio. Then current ratio. Current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities, or current assets is to current liabilities. So I already explained, current assets include stock, debtors and cash. So that comes to 1,49,000. Yes, 1,49,000. And then current liabilities are 71,000 plus 30,000. I'm sorry. Current stock is 1,49,000. Debtors are 71,000. Cash is 30,000. Together, current assets are 2,50,000. Current liabilities are 1,30,000. Only one value is there. So if you put the values into the formula, you will get the ratio 1.92:1. That means current assets are 1.92 when compared to current liabilities. 1.92 times of current liabilities. In other words, in percentage term, it is 192.31. So current assets are 192.31% of current liabilities. Normally standard ratio is 2:1, but here it is a bit lesser. So if you compare with the standard ratio, it is a bit lesser, but everything depends upon the situation. Sometimes current ratio might be very good, but still it may not be good because current assets may include, for example, unsold stock or uncollected debtors. So such items. Therefore, everything depends upon the circumstances and situation. With one ratio, you cannot jump to the conclusion. Okay, acid test ratio. Acid test ratio is nothing but quick ratio or liquid ratio. Acid test ratio is equal to quick assets divided by quick liabilities. Sundry debtors, quick assets means current assets minus closing stock or inventory. Therefore, only two items remain here, 71,000 and 30,000. So together that comes to 1,01,000. Current liabilities and quick liabilities are one and the same here. So no overdraft, no cash credit. Therefore, 1,30,000. So 1,01,000 divided by 1,30,000 is equal to 0.78:1. That means current assets are just 0.78 times that of current liabilities or quick liabilities. So normally standard ratio is 1:1. So if these quick liabilities fall due for payment, then you are not left with sufficient values, sufficient current quick assets rather. Okay, next one is proprietary ratio. Proprietary ratio is equal to shareholders funds divided by total tangible assets. Okay, shareholders funds I already explained, share capital, reserves and profit and loss account. If there are any preliminary expenses, then that should be deducted. So here there is no such item. So total proprietary funds is 3,50,000. Whereas total tangible assets, entire total of asset side 4,80,000. So if you apply the information here in the formula, you will get 0.73:1. In other words, out of total proprietary, out of total tangible assets, shareholders' contribution is around 72.92%, whereas the remaining amount is contributed by other stakeholders like outsiders. Okay, that's about this problem. We'll move on to one more problem. The following information of a company is given. Current ratio is equal to 2.5:1 and acid test ratio is equal to 1.51. Current liabilities is equal to 4 lakh. Find out the current assets, liquid assets and inventory. It's a small problem. You have to find out current assets here. Okay. See, current liabilities are 4 lakh. Okay. Here current assets means current assets is to current liabilities. Current liabilities are 4 lakh. Then current assets are 2.5 times that of current liabilities. So 4 lakh into 2.5, you will get 10 lakh rather. So 10 lakh are the current assets. Now you can verify. See, 10 lakh. So minus 4 lakh, then you will get the working capital actually. So 10 lakh and 4 lakh, if you calculate the ratio, 2.5:1. Okay, acid test ratio 1.5:1. Okay, we have to assume that quick liabilities and current liabilities are one and the same. If that is the case, in the acid test ratio, liquid assets are 1.5 times that of the current liabilities. So that comes to 6,000. So 1.5 into 4 lakh. So you will get 6 lakh. Now what is inventory? So from current assets, if you deduct quick assets, you will get inventory. So 10 lakh minus 6 lakh, you will get 4 lakh. I repeat, see here current liabilities are given 4 lakh and current ratio is given 2.5:1. So current ratios are 2.5 times that of current liabilities. So if you have to calculate the current assets, you have to multiply 4 lakh with 2.5. So you will get 10 lakh. So that is the value of current assets. Similarly, acid test ratio. So here we have to assume that acid test ratio is equal to liquid assets divided by current liabilities. If you are provided with the information quick liabilities, then quick assets divided by quick liabilities. Therefore, here we have to assume that quick asset ratio or acid test ratio is equal to quick assets divided by current liabilities. So the ratio is 1.5 is to 1. If current liabilities are 1, quick assets are 1.5 times that of the current liabilities. Therefore, 4 lakh into 1.5, that comes to 6 lakh. Then what is inventory? That is current assets minus quick assets. You will get inventory. So 10 lakh minus 6 lakh, you will get 4 lakh. 4 lakh is nothing but inventory. So a small problem we have solved. There is one more problem here, similar small problem. The following information of a company is given. Current ratio is 2.5 is to 1. Acid test ratio is 1.5 is to 1. Working capital is 1,20,000. Bank overdraft is 20,000. You have to find out current assets and then current liabilities, liquid assets and closing stock. See the formula here. What is working capital? You are given with working capital 1,20,000. What is working capital? Working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. So the ratio is given 2.5 is to 1. So 2.5 current assets. Current liabilities 1. The difference between the two is 1,20,000. So 2.5 minus 1 is equal to 1.5. So 1.5 is equal to 1,20,000. Then what is current assets? So 1,20,000 into 2.5, you will get 2.5 divided by 1.5. 1.5 is equal to 1,20,000. What is 2.5? So 2.5 minus 1, you will get 1.5. 1.5 is equal to 1,20,000. What is 2.5? So that way 1.5 is equal to 1,20,000. What is 2.5? So you will get 2 lakh. So 2 lakh are current assets. Now what about current liabilities? Current liabilities is equal to current assets. You get 2 lakh here. Then working capital 1,20,000. So working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. Whereas if you want to calculate current liabilities, current assets minus working capital. So 2 lakh minus 1,20,000, you will get 80,000. Then quick assets. Quick assets is equal to current liabilities minus bank overdraft. Okay, here current liabilities are known 80,000. Quick liabilities are known, for example, bank overdraft is known 20,000. Yes. So current liabilities minus bank overdraft, you will get definitely quick liabilities. So quick liabilities are 60,000. So with the help of that, you can calculate liquid assets. Liquid assets is equal to quick liabilities into 1.5. So it is given 1.5. 1.5 quick ratio 1.5 is given. So quick liabilities into 1.5, you will get quick assets. So that is equal to 90,000. Closing stock. Closing stock is current assets minus quick assets. You will get closing stock or inventory. This is similar to the one we have solved in the previous problem. Now let me once again repeat. Current assets you have to calculate, and you can take the formula of calculation of working capital, because working capital is given here 1,20,000. What is working capital? Working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. Apply the information. So ratio of current assets is 2.5 is to 1. So current assets minus current liabilities is equal to working capital. So the difference is 1.5. 1.5 is equal to 1,20,000. So what is 2.5? That way indirectly you can calculate the current assets. So 2 lakh. What are current liabilities? Current liabilities is equal to current assets minus working capital. Working capital value is given, current asset value you have found out, therefore the difference between the two, that is current liabilities. Then liquid assets. See, quick liabilities you can calculate. Current liabilities minus, see, current liabilities are given here. Sorry, now you have to calculate, current liabilities you have to calculate. Yes, current liabilities we have calculated here 80,000. It's not given, but we have calculated 80,000 minus bank overdraft. Bank overdraft is given. Then you will get quick liabilities. So quick liabilities are equal to 60,000. Then liquid assets is equal to quick liabilities into 1.5, because quick ratio is given 1.5 is to 1. That means quick assets are 1.5 times the quick liabilities. Therefore 60,000 into 1.5 you will get 90,000 quick assets. And once you get closing current assets value and quick liabilities value, the difference is nothing but closing stock. Okay, now we'll move on to next problem. From the following profit and loss account and balance sheet, calculate current ratio, liquid ratio, debt equity ratio, operating ratio, stock turnover ratio, creditors turnover ratio, gross profit ratio and net profit ratio. Alright, first one is current ratio. What is current ratio? Current assets is to current liabilities. So stock, debtors, cash, prepaid expenses together, that will be current assets. Current liabilities, creditors and bank overdraft together, that will be current liabilities. Ratio of current assets to current liabilities is nothing but current ratio. Then liquid ratio. So in order to calculate liquid ratio, you have to exclude stock from the current assets. That means you have to take debtors, cash and prepaid expenses. That will be total of these values, and that is quick assets. And here on the liability side, from the current liabilities you have to exclude bank overdraft. That means you have to take only creditors, one line. Then next ratio is debt equity ratio. Long-term debts is to are divided by shareholders funds. Okay, now long-term debts, here you find only debentures, 8% debentures, and shareholders funds, share capital, only equity share capital is there. Then reserves and surplus, so reserves, then profit and loss account. So 2,50,000 plus 1 lakh plus 50,000. So that should be added up. No fictitious asset, so that is equal to shareholders funds. So you have to calculate the ratio. Next one is operating ratio. Operating ratio is equal to cost of goods sold plus operating expenses. Operating expenses divided by net sales into 100. So what is cost of goods sold? Cost of goods sold is equal to opening stock, add purchases, add direct expenses minus closing stock. You will get cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold plus operating expenses given here 1,75,000. And interest on debenture is financial expense, therefore it is not included in the computation of operating ratio. So cost of goods sold plus operating expenses divided by net sales into 100. Thereby you will get operating ratio. And next is stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio is nothing but cost of goods sold divided by average inventory. Cost of goods sold already I told you how to compute, and then average inventory is nothing but Opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. Opening stock is 1 lakh, closing stock is 1,75,000. Add up and divide it by 2. Next one, stock turnover ratio, that's over. Creditors turnover ratio. Net credit purchases divided by receivables payable. So net credit purchases. If nothing is given, you have to take purchases as it is, 6 lakh divided by average accounts payable. Accounts payable means here you find creditors as well as bills payable, and you come across here bank overdraft. So I'm sorry. Yes. So opening creditors as well as closing creditors, you don't find the values here. Therefore, just you have to take creditors as well as bills payable. Bills payable are not given. So if you are provided with values of creditors and bills payable at the beginning as well as at the end of the accounting year, you can calculate the average of that, and then you can use that for calculating creditors turnover ratio. But here only creditors value is there, bills payable is not there. So only 1 lakh should be taken as a representative value. And then you find gross profit ratio, very easy. Gross profit divided by net sales into 100. Net profit ratio, net profit divided by net sales into 100. Yes, you see the calculation. Current ratio, current assets is equal to current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. So current assets are the total of these 4 items, so you will get 3,05,000. Current liabilities are just 2 items, 1,25,000. So 3,05,000 divided by 1,25,000. Ratio is 2.44:1. In other words, current assets are 244% as that of current liabilities. Standard ratio is normally 2:1. Here the ratio is better than that, so it appears to be good. And then liquid ratio is equal to quick assets or liquid assets divided by quick liabilities. So quick assets are nothing but current assets minus inventory. That means you have inventory as well as prepaid expenses. So from the current assets you have to exclude stock as well as prepaid expenses. If there are no prepaid expenses, only stock should be kept aside from the current assets. So here only 2 items, debtors as well as cash, you have to take. And then 1,20,000. Quick liabilities. Quick liabilities are just creditors 1 lakh. Therefore, you have to calculate the ratio. I have not done it. So 1,20,000 divided by 1 lakh. So that way you can calculate quick ratio or liquid ratio. I forgot to do that. It's an omission. Debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio is equal to long-term debts divided by shareholders' funds. So long-term debts means what? Here in our problem only one item is there, that is 8% debentures. And shareholders' funds, share capital, reserves and profit and loss. And I already told you about this. As a result, if you simplify this formula and values, you will get 1 lakh divided by 4 lakh. Therefore, debts are 0.25 when compared to the equity 1. In other words, debt is 25% as that of equity ratio. And then operating ratio, it is not operating profit ratio, operating ratio. Operating ratio is equal to cost of goods sold plus operating expenses divided by net sales into 100. So what is cost of goods sold? I already told you. Opening stock, add purchases, add direct expenses, then minus closing stock, you will get cost of goods sold. Then operating expenses, there is only one item, 1,75,000, it's given there. See, operating expenses 1,75,000, that should be added. As a result, you will get 7,20,000 total operating expenses divided by net sales 9,80,000. So you will get 0.73:1. In other words, 73.47%. That means it is not operating profit ratio, it is operating ratio. Operating profit ratio means 100 minus 73.47. The next, I mean operating ratio only, not operating profit ratio. So it's an error. This should be cut. So it is 0.73:1. Stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio is equal to cost of goods sold divided by average stock. So cost of goods sold already you have calculated 5,45,000. It's here. Average stock is equal to opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. So if you apply the information, you will get 1,37,500. So 1,37,000. 5,45,000 divided by 1,37,500, you will get 3.961 or 396.36%. So stock is converted into cash at the rate of 3.96%. I'm sorry, 396% or 3.96 times a year. Then creditors turnover ratio, yes, net credit sales divided by average account payable. Net credit sales are 6 lakh. Here you do not get the separate value of net credit purchases. Total purchases are taken as credit purchases. Therefore, net credit purchases are 6 lakh. And average accounts payable. Actually, it is the average of opening values of creditors as well as bills payable plus closing values of creditors plus bills payable. Then you have to calculate average accounts payable. But in our problem, you find only creditors value, that to closing creditors. So that is taken as a representative value. So 6 lakh divided by 1 lakh, you will get 6:1. So creditors turnover ratio is 600%. Alright, next, see, total purchases are taken as credit purchases, one thing. Secondly, closing creditors are taken as average creditors. If opening value of creditors is available, opening value of creditors plus closing value of creditors divided by 2. In case bills payable item is also there in the problem, then creditors plus bills payable at the beginning plus at the end divided by 2. That's how you have to calculate average accounts payable. Gross profit ratio. Gross profit divided by net sales into 100. Yes. So if you apply the information, you will get 44.39%. Net profit ratio. Net profit divided by net sales. So you will get 25.71%. So gross profit ratio is equal to, it means, our interpretation of that is that if you sell the goods of rupees 100, you are going to make a gross profit of rupees 44.39. Then if you sell the goods of rupees 100, you are going to make a profit of 25.71 rupee as net profit. So that is the interpretation. Of course, whether it is good or bad, that you can decide by comparing these ratios with the ratios for previous years. And you can also go for interfirm comparison. You can compare these ratios with that of ratios of other firms in the same line of business or in the industry, or you can compare that with standard ratios, and thereby you can arrive at the conclusion. So thank you very much for listening.